Welcome to The Curators episode 112, the weekly podcast and YouTube series where I discuss cool games and game-related crowd-funded projects from the Gamerati curated page, which you can find at kickstarter.com/Gamerati. I'm Marcelo, and this show is transmitted as a podcast that you can find just looking for The Curators on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or Stitcher, and the video version of our episodes are at youtube.com/Gamerati. The first game I have here is a reprint of a game that I think I talked about in the past. It's Pax Pamir, 2nd edition, from Wehrlegig Games. At least I believe that's how it's called. Anyhow, it's designed by Cold Wehrle, the same designer of the board game Root. In Pax Pamir, players take on the role of Afghan political factions in the early 19th century. The plot is like this. For generations, the Durrani Empire held the region together. Now, their authority has collapsed. Rivals, both old and new, have emerged from the shadows. It is up to the players to see if a fledgling Afghan state might come into being. So, this project gets points for not being a game that takes place in Europe or North America. We need more cultural games like this. Also, the designer is a PhD in history, so as a historian myself, I guarantee that this game is historically accurate. Okay, Pax Pamir is a game about state and empire in Central Asia. It's for 1 to 5 players that take on the role, each player takes on the role of a Afghan political faction. In the early 19th century, each turn players will draft cards from a central market and then play those cards. Cards can be used to entrench your position and grant players access to powerful abilities. Throughout the game, players will command armies, direct the subterfuge of their spies, and undertaking political maneuvers. So it's a kind of more or less Euro game, although it has its own twists and vicissitudes. So I wouldn't readily classify it as a Euro game. It's a strategy game for sure. So the game, the box with this of the 2nd edition comes with over 100 cards with period correct illustrations, which is also a positive point for this game. It's a total of 55 wooden player pieces, 36 resin coalition blocks, 40 punchboard coins, 6 wooden ruler tokens, 5 player aid boards, and 1 cloth map. The publisher of Pax Pamir takes this subject very seriously. The game is the product of over 5 years of research and draws on a wide range of both primary and secondary sources. For this reason, the game may not be suitable for all groups. It offers an extended meditation on life at the fringes of European power and asks the players to understand the many currents that guided the history of Central Asia in the 19th century. So if you're not a fan of games in which you learn something, well, I would say it's not for you, but take a look. You might find out that you like this kind of thing, especially with making use of a culture, civilization that we have very little contact with. At least here in Brazil. I don't know in the United States. Well, it is also a deeply interactive game where the path to victory often cuts through the hopes of your opponent. So which means that the action in the game is cutthroat, and that might not be for everyone also. Okay, an important detail about this reprint of Pax Pamir. It's not going to go to retail. So the only way to get a copy of Pax Pamir is through this Kickstarter project. The project goes all the way to the 27th of March. So as I'm recording this, still 13 days to go. It's already way beyond the minimum pledge level, so people are really deeply interested in this game. And you can have some upgrades when you pledge. Let's see if I find the upgrades here. Here on the Kickstarter page, it explains why the reprint. Okay, so you can get an additional copy of Pax Pamir for $70 US. You can upgrade your cardboard coins to metal coins for $15 more. And this also works for people who have the second edition without the reprint, before the reprint. They did very slight tweaks to the game, mostly explaining better aspects of the rules on some points of the rulebook, and they made a new type of ruler tokens. So if you already have the second edition of Pax Pamir from the previous Kickstarter and want just to upgrade the material, all you have to do is pledge at the $5 US level, and you get your new your printed ruler tokens. Shipping will be charged after the Kickstarter ends, actually after the game is ready to be shipped. So I like this. I like the fact that they don't charge shipping right now. So in essence, I'm paying in 2 installments for the game. So for the United States and China, it's $10 US shipping. For Canada, UK, German, France, and Netherlands, Hong Kong, Macau, it's $15 US. For Taiwan, Australia, Finland, Greece, Iceland, Croatia, Romania, Serbia, Bulgaria, Norway, Cyprus, and Malta. Cyprus or Cyprus? I don't know. And Malta, $20 US. For New Zealand, Japan, Malaysia, Singapore, South Korea, Mexico, Puerto Rico, $25 US. And for Thailand, Philippines, Vietnam, and Indonesia, $30 US. And for the rest of the world, which includes Brazil, will be $40 to $50 US. So a pretty expensive shipping cost. But it's such a unique game, and you won't find it in stores. So that's your chance. Let's take a look at the pledge levels. For for $5 US, you get the replacement ruler tokens. For $15 US, you get a replacement for the metal coins, in case you just want the coins for the game you already own. And if you are a retailer, you can pledge $50 US or more as a retailer deposit, but you have to be a brick and mortar store. Wait a minute. They said this game won't hit retail, but retailers can buy it. And for $70 US, you get Pax Pamir second edition reprint. It comes with a copy of Pax Pamir, and you can increase your pledge level after you want the Pax Pamir plus the coins. So you pledge 70, then you increase $15 US. And what else? And that's it. Those are the pledge levels for upgrading the ruler tokens, for upgrading metal coins, for the base game, and a retailer deposit, which I thought they would. I guess the game won't hit retail through the publisher. Like, won't have a constant stock. Retailers who bought the game on the Kickstarter will have the game, and that's it. Makes sense. My next suggestion for this episode is completely different than Pax Pamir. I want to talk about Vampire: The Masquerade Vendetta. It's being made by Horrible Guild, who's been a while on Kickstarter, having crowdfunded Unicorn Fever and Alone, which is an awesome game. I was drawn to this game because board games inspired by the RPGs of the World of Darkness are very rare. I might be mistaken, but I think the last one that used the lore of Vampire: The Masquerade was Prince of the City, from way back when in 2004, and it was published by the Old White Wolf game studio. So it's not the kind of thing that you get bored in a card game one after the other. It's kind of rare. So I was also kind of surprised that Horrible Guild was making this game, because it's very different than the other things they publish, but I'm happy with it. Okay, so Vampire: The Masquerade Vendetta takes place in Chicago, in the city of Chicago. It plays 3 to 5 players, and each of the players choose one of the main clans of the Camarilla and vie for control of the city. You can play with Bruja, or Bruja, I don't know how to pronounce it, You can play with the Gangrel, the Malkavian, the Nosferatu, the Toreador, the Tremere, or the Ventru. It's a card game, but there is a cool board game element. In the center of the table, you put cardboard pieces that represent the regions of the city or sectors of the city, and each player will try to win that sector, earning allies to make them more powerful. You use one of your cards to try and conquer that sector. You start the game with only 2 cards, but every one of the rounds you have the opportunity to acquire another card, another ally. And you draw an extra card. You draw actually 2 cards from your particular pool of cards, and you choose one and the other goes back to the deck. So it's a very quick game, very easy to get, very quick to assemble. But there are several levels of complexity because it's a political game. You use one of your cards to try and conquer that region, that sector of the city. You can put your card up, revealing your intentions, or down, which makes your action secretive, but costs blood. Every player has a blood pool with tokens that tally up how much blood you still have to use in the game. And after everybody have selected the cards they want in the conflict in that city region, you choose if you're going to fight or flee. After you see what everybody's doing, you're gonna add another card that says that you fold or that you are part of the action on that round. The most powerful players wins that sector and brings to his side a powerful ally. The interesting part is that even if you lose, you might have used a card that taxes the winner too. So every action in this game has a cost. Besides the politics and the intrigue, there are other elements in Vampire the Masquerade that makes this game very, very curious. And also very into the mood and the climate of a Vampire the Masquerade game. I said you accrue allies, right? But if you see yourself without any blood, you enter in a frenzy and commit diablerie, killing one of your allies, a random ally. You get some powers because of that, because you commit diablerie. But you also get a negative token to represent your crime, which negatively impacts your actions for the rest of the game. Oh yeah, and the game is asymmetrical, so it makes a difference which clan you choose to play with. The game also has a kind of a pedigree because it was designed by Charlie Cleveland from Subnautica and Bruno Faidutti from Citadels. As usual, you can download the rulebook to check the game out, but they are also offering a print and play download here on the Kickstarter page. So, and also you can play the game on Tabletop Simulator or Tabletopia. So plenty of chances to decide if this game is for you. It is certainly for me. So for 33 US dollars or 30 euros, you get a copy of Vampire the Masquerade Vendetta plus all the stretch goals unlocked in the campaign. For 50 euros or 55 US dollars, you get a deluxe copy of Vampire the Masquerade, including the core game, token upgrade pack, cloth bag, silicone token holder, plus all the stretch goals unlocked. And for 300 euros or 330 US dollars, you join the Immortals and become a part of the game. That means that you're gonna send photos of you for the team, and they will make an artwork on one of the victim cards of the game. Will be you, basically, or whoever you want. So you can super personalize this game with a card that resembles yourself. There are also a couple of add-ons. You can add custom card sleeves. I don't like card sleeves, but those are very beautiful. I would buy those just to have them. You get premium quality 80 micron thick, enough for core game and stretch goals. So it's a lot of cards. You add 13 euros. You can upgrade the tokens, adding 40 plastic blood tokens and 50 metal influence tokens. Let's see here, 18 euros. That add-on is also included in the Ancilla and Elder pledges, which are the pledges with the deluxe game. You can add 3 foldable token holder sets, those tokens that are appearing nowadays, which is a kind of PVC flat surface that you turn you turn the sides up and close them on the edges, so they become a tray. You can add a custom cloth bag for extra 5 euros or $6. And you can add an art book for 15 euros or $16. Contains all the amazing art created for the game by Martin Motet. The illustrations of this game are amazing, very evocative of the original Vampire the Masquerade and the 5th edition also. Actually, I think the 5th edition has even better illustrations. Those illustrations are in par with the modern Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition, and they're also very violent, and no bars were held here to make the violence and the blood of Vampire the Masquerade a feature of this game. Let's see the pledge levels. The game goes all the way to the 25th of March, so as I'm recording this, 11 days to go. It's way over 200% of the pledge goal. So this game is already going to be made. Also, it's from Horrible Guild. They have plenty of experience on Kickstarter. Let's take a look here. 30 euros or 30, I can't speak today. 30 euros or $34 US, you get a copy of Vampire the Masquerade Vendetta plus Outstretched Ghosts. For 50 euros or $56 US, you get a copy of the deluxe edition. That includes the upgrade token pack, cloth bag, silicone token holder, plus Outstretched Ghosts. And it's all gone. I'm sorry, the 300 euro pledge level in which you get your face in the game is all gone. And that's it. So you have 2 options. You have the regular game and you have the deluxe game for 30 euros or for 50 euros. And shipping will be charged later after the game is ready to be shipped, which also very neat. Let's see here, shipping. They don't, they have. For the United States, it's going to be about 12 euros or $14 US. Canada, 15 euros. Australia, New Zealand, 15 to 18 euros. Those are estimates. For China, Hong Kong, and Taiwan, 12 to 15 euros. For Asia, 15 to 18 euros, which includes Japan, South Korea, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand. For the rest of the world, 1. That's interesting. For Brazil, Israel, Turkey, and United Arab Emirates, it's going to be 35 to 40 euros. And for the rest of the world, part 2, the rest of the game, the rest of the countries, will be 40 to 55 euros. Important. Shipments to Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, and Afghanistan are not available. So yeah, so it's a game that takes place on the world of Vampire the Masquerade, utilizes all the mood, all the politics, all the intrigue of the game, all the blood of the game, and it's being made by Horrible Guild until the 25th of March. Okay, that's it for another episode of The Curators. You can find our curated page at kickstarter.com/gamerati. You can also email me at thecurators@gamerati.com. If you want to email me, just tell me if you liked the projects I commented today and if you're backing any of them. The show notes for this episode and all our episodes are at thecurators.gamerati.com, where you can watch the video versions or listen and subscribe to the podcast version of The Curators. The Curators can be found on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and Spotify. That's it for me. Catch you up next time.